What if I told you that some of Hollywood's brightest black actors, beloved on screen, admired for their talent, and living lives most could only dream of, had it all come crashing down because of one mistake? At the height of their careers, they were untouchable, gracing magazine covers, headlining blockbuster films, and charming millions. But behind the lights and the fame, secret affairs and shocking betrayals unraveled their worlds. These weren't just rumors, they were scandals so explosive that careers crumbled, reputations shattered, and some actors never recovered. Here are 13 cheating scandals that destroyed black actors. 13. Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans became a household name for his sharp humor and ability to make audiences laugh through shows, movies, and stand-up. But while his career was filled with lighthearted success, his personal life told a heavier story. Marlon was in a long-term relationship that many believed was solid, but that image cracked when news of infidelity began to circulate. For someone who seemed so dedicated to his family, the cheating revelations were a sharp contrast to the fun-loving star people thought they knew. The affair rumors grew, and the once-admired father and partner found himself caught in a storm of public disappointment. Hollywood is a place where private mistakes rarely stay hidden, and Marlon learned that the hard way. His reputation took a hit, as many saw him not just as a comedian, but as a man who broke trust most painfully. The scandal tied directly to his name showed how cheating destroyed the picture-perfect image fans once had of him. 12. Larenz Tate. Larenz Tate built his career with roles that made him a favorite among audiences who admired both his talent and his clean reputation. He carried himself as a man with dignity and class, which made his alleged cheating scandals even more damaging when whispers started spreading. Fans who saw him as a devoted husband and family man were taken aback by the stories, as they clashed with the image he had so carefully maintained. Hollywood thrives on drama, and soon those quiet rumors began to overshadow his good guy persona. Even though Tate avoided the kind of tabloid meltdowns that destroyed other stars, the mere mention of infidelity was enough to chip away at his credibility. People no longer just saw the actor they admired on screen. They began questioning the man behind the roles. For someone whose strength came from being seen as a positive figure, the cheating talk left a scar that lingered over his career and personal life, showing how betrayal tarnished his once untouchable image. 11. Boris Kodjoe. Boris Kodjoe has long been admired as one half of what fans considered one of Hollywood's most perfect couples. With his marriage to actress Nicole Ari Parker, the pair became an image of love, family, and stability in an industry known for broken homes. But even that seemingly unshakable foundation wasn't free from scandal. Rumors of Boris being unfaithful began to circulate, and those whispers quickly grew into headlines, questioning whether the dream couple was truly as strong as it appeared. For years, fans had seen them as the standard of black love in Hollywood, and the cheating allegations shattered that fantasy. While Boris never faced the same level of public downfall as others, the damage was still done. Once you're tied to a scandal, your name never fully escapes it. For a man whose reputation was built on charm and reliability, the cheating stories attached to Boris Kodjoe left a shadow over his image and proved that even the most adored actors could have cracks behind closed doors. 10. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx built a career out of versatility, an Oscar-winning actor, comedian, and musician who seemed to do it all. But while his career sparkled, his personal life often made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Rumors of cheating and secret affairs followed him throughout his time in the spotlight, and those stories became almost as loud as his professional achievements. Fox kept much of his private life out of the public eye, but Hollywood tabloids dug deep, exposing details that suggested he wasn't always the loyal partner fans hoped he would be. The whispers grew especially loud during his high-profile relationships, which left many wondering how much truth was behind the headlines. Cheating scandals stick because they damage more than relationships, they strike at reputation. For Jamie, the affairs tainted the image of a smooth, charismatic star and reminded audiences that the darker sides of fame can undo even the brightest talent. His name will always carry the weight of those cheating allegations. 9. Idris Elba. Idris Elba is celebrated as one of Hollywood's most charming leading men, with a global fan base that admires his acting skills, style, and undeniable presence. But while his career soared, his personal life revealed a pattern of broken relationships, many of them ending with stories of infidelity. Elba went through more than one divorce, and the cheating rumors that surrounded those splits made headlines as much as his movie roles. Fans who adored him on screen were disappointed to learn of the pain caused behind closed doors. Cheating scandals don't just damage a marriage, they attach a lasting stain to someone's public image. For Idris, his charisma and career success couldn't fully protect him from the backlash. The affairs left cracks in how the public viewed him, shifting him from Hollywood's ideal man to yet another star caught in the destructive cycle of betrayal. His story stands as proof that even those with the smoothest reputations aren't immune to the fallout of cheating scandals. 8. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is one of the most successful comedians of his generation, building a global empire with his stand-up, movies, and business ventures. But at the peak of his career, his personal life came crashing down when he admitted to cheating on his wife, Eniko, while she was pregnant. The scandal was explosive, not just because of the betrayal itself, but because it was caught on tape and spread across the media. Kevin faced the shame of having his private mistake turned into a very public disaster. For someone who built a brand on relatability and humor, the cheating story made him look reckless and untrustworthy. He publicly apologized, but the damage was already done. His marriage nearly ended, and his reputation as a family man was destroyed. The scandal became a defining moment in his career, showing how quickly infidelity can tear apart the life of even the most successful stars. Kevin's name remains tied to the cheating story that almost ruined everything he built. 7. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. went from winning an Oscar to becoming one of Hollywood's most talked-about cautionary tales. His fall wasn't just tied to fading roles, but also to the chaos of his personal life. Cheating allegations surrounded his marriage to his high school sweetheart, which ended after more than 2 decades together. The rumors of infidelity stained what once seemed like a stable relationship, and the divorce added more fuel to the scandal. But the damage didn't stop there. Those cheating stories became part of a larger narrative of bad behavior that overshadowed his career. Instead of being remembered only for his talent, he became a tabloid figure linked to betrayal and controversy. Cheating scandals carry weight because they expose cracks in how the public perceives a star, and for Cuba, that perception shifted from beloved actor to troubled headline. His reputation never recovered, showing how quickly personal choices can unravel a career built on hard work and talent. 6. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was one of the biggest action stars of the 90 seconds, dominating box offices with his charisma and fight scenes. But his personal life often pulled him into the spotlight for reasons that had nothing to do with acting. Over the years, rumors of cheating surfaced during his relationships, adding strain to an already complicated public image. While Snipes battled legal troubles and career setbacks, the whispers of infidelity only deepened the narrative that he was living recklessly off-screen. For a man who played strong, disciplined characters, the scandals painted a much different picture of instability and betrayal. Hollywood is quick to highlight contradictions, and Wesley's reputation took repeated hits as fans struggled to reconcile the hero they admired on screen with the man caught up in scandals off-screen. His cheating stories became part of the downward spiral that damaged his career and proved that personal missteps can destroy the public trust that keeps actors at the top. 5. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, a comedian who became a box office king. But even during his peak, his personal life often collided with scandal. His long-term relationships and marriages were marred by accusations of infidelity that the tabloids feasted on. Eddie's charm and talent couldn't shield him from the consequences of affairs that left behind public embarrassment and private heartbreak. When his marriage ended, the cheating stories became part of the narrative that followed him everywhere, overshadowing his career at times. Fans who once saw him as the unstoppable funny man now saw a troubled personal life filled with betrayal. For someone who brought joy to millions, his own actions brought pain to those closest to him. The scandals damaged the image he built and showed how cheating can destroy more than just trust. It can redefine a superstar's entire legacy in the eyes of the public. 4. Will Smith. Will Smith was Hollywood's golden boy, bankable, charismatic, and admired for keeping a long-lasting marriage in an industry filled with divorces. That image shattered when Jada Pinkett Smith's entanglement with August Alsina came to light. Although the scandal involved both sides of the marriage, the exposure revealed cracks in what fans thought was an unshakable bond. The story dominated headlines, and Will became part of one of the most discussed Hollywood cheating scandals of all time. His family man reputation took a hit, and what was once seen as a picture-perfect union was now painted as complicated and broken. For years, Will's brand was built on positivity and relatability, but the scandal flipped that narrative upside down. The betrayal, whether perceived or real, destroyed the wholesome image he had carefully maintained throughout his career. It showed how even the brightest stars could be consumed by the fallout of a cheating scandal that refuses to fade from public memory. 3. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington has long been considered one of Hollywood's most respected and admired actors. Known for his incredible talent and his image as a devoted husband, he seemed untouchable. But even he wasn't free from the shadow of cheating rumors. Over the years, whispers of infidelity surrounded his marriage, and though he never directly addressed them, the stories were loud enough to spark public discussion. For a man who built his reputation on integrity and discipline, the allegations were damaging. Fans who looked up to him as a role model were forced to see a more complicated reality. Even without solid proof, the association with cheating scandals was enough to chip away at his flawless image. Denzel's story proves that once your name is tied to betrayal, the perception lingers, regardless of denials. His career remained strong, but the rumors served as a reminder that even the most respected black actors can see their reputation scarred by scandal. 2. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard's career has been marked by talent, charisma, and controversy. Known for powerful roles in films and TV, he also became infamous for the scandals surrounding his personal life. Several of his marriages ended in messy divorces, and infidelity was often part of the story. The cheating allegations fueled headlines that painted him as unreliable and unstable, both as a partner and as a public figure. Hollywood thrives on drama, and Terrence's reputation became entangled in constant whispers of betrayal and broken trust. For someone with his level of talent, the personal scandals weighed heavily on how audiences viewed him. Instead of being celebrated purely for his performances, his name became synonymous with chaos behind closed doors. His cheating scandals not only hurt his relationships, but also helped build an image of a man who couldn't separate success from self-destruction. Terrence's downfall showed just how destructive infidelity can be for a star's career and reputation. 1. Martin Lawrence. Martin Lawrence made audiences laugh for decades, but his personal life was often no laughing matter. At the height of his success, his marriage unraveled under the weight of cheating accusations. The scandal became highly publicized as his then-wife cited infidelity as one of the major reasons their relationship collapsed. For Martin, the cheating story was more than just a private mistake. It was a headline that defined a difficult chapter of his life. Fans who adored his comedy couldn't ignore the betrayal tied to his name. While he continued working, his reputation was no longer just about his talent. It was also about the scandal that destroyed his family life. Hollywood has a long memory, and Martin's cheating history became a permanent part of his public identity. It showed that even those who make the world laugh aren't immune to the heartbreak and destruction that cheating scandals can unleash, leaving behind wounds that fame cannot heal. Cheating scandals don't just break hearts, they can destroy entire careers, leaving scars that never fully fade. These black actors once stood at the top of Hollywood, admired for their talent and celebrated for their success. But behind the fame, their choices unraveled everything. From whispers that became headlines to betrayals that shattered families, these stories prove that no star is untouchable when secrets come to light. But here's the bigger question. How much of their downfall was caused by the scandal itself? And how much was fueled by a public that refuses to forgive? Fame magnifies mistakes, and once the world labels you a cheater, it's nearly impossible to escape that shadow. Which scandal shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe so you never miss more untold Hollywood stories.